It's 10,000 horsepower. It covers 1,000 foot in about 3.9 to 4.0 at over 300 mile an hour every time. If it doesn't, there's something wrong with it, and we got to come back and tune it up.
It's the Nitro Outlaw Drag Racing Association here in Ennis, Texas. And today we have a world champion, we have a European champion, and we have some great talent in the Nitro Outlaw organization, both in Top Fuel Dragster and in Funny Car. Hi, I'm John Lynch of the Texas Motorplex, and the activity today begins with the test and tune session, then it's qualifying, then the top two teams. Might even be a dragster versus a funny car for the finals here at the NODRA event at the Texas Motorplex. Great location here, terrific facilities created by Billy Meyer. It's an all-concrete drag strip, and the teams are all primed with the brand new 80% nitro rule here in NODRA. Del Worsham, Cory Mack, Jack Wyatt, Bill Litton, Todd Simpson, Joon, they're all ready to run. You're going to see some great action. Glad you could join us here on NODRA. It's the Nitro Outlaws at the Texas Motorplex. As Neil Diamond would sing, on the boats and on the planes, they're coming to America. European champion in drag racing in 2005, Joon sold everything and moved here a few years ago. And after being European champion and competing in America, now he's a Nitro Outlaw. Lex, welcome to the weekend here at Texas Motorplex.
Thank you.
What kind of a journey has it been for you to get here?
Well, it is quite a journey. You know, to get here only, we don't have the big rigs. We just travel with a 30-foot trailer. Took us 26 hours to get here.
Oh.
But before we got here, we moved from the Netherlands, Amsterdam, to the US in 2013. Just for racing. We want to race. And this is the country where racing is invented, especially drag racing. If you want to be the champ, you need to be here.
Now, you are relicensing this weekend. How is that going to happen?
Well, basically, you know, because I've been out of the car for a couple of years, you need to you just basically do the last 3 runs for your licensing process, so everybody can see you know how to pull the chutes, make the burnout, get going with the green light. So basically we're going to make 3 runs, 1 moderate run and 2 other runs that will go the whole 1,000 foot, and then it should be okay.
How about from a tune-up standpoint, now you're getting set to go with the 80% rule that they're using here in the Nitro Outlaw Drag Racing Association?
Well, I'm okay with that, because back in Europe, you know, the tracks are not as good as here. So we always were running 82, 83% anyway, because we couldn't use all the power. So I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, so ready to go here today. Have a great day here. Welcome to the Nitro Outlaws, Joon, native of the Netherlands, now right here in America. Top Fuel World Champion, Funny Car World Champion, and now a Nitro Outlaw. We're here with Del Worsham and the Worsham Fink Racing team. You have 2 cars here. You're a busy guy.
Yeah, I am, yes. It's been a very busy season, and we have the Top Fuel car driven by Bill Litton, and the Funny Car I'm going to drive myself here. We're lucky to get CP Carrillo, Toyota, Lucas Oil, and all of our sponsors to come on board and help us out here at the Nitro Outlaw race. Bill's here with his Litton financial car, and it's exciting. You know, I've done mostly NHRA racing through my career. I was actually a world champion in IHRA in 1992, so I've raced off the NHRA circuit at times. But to come out here and race for the Nitro Outlaws under their format and their rules, a 1-day race, lots of excitement. I'm excited to be here.
How about the 80% rule for somebody that's been used to running 88 to 90?
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, I have an unfair advantage. I've been running my dragster on 80% already, so we have a little bit of history already with 80%. I pulled out my notes from when we ran 85% on the NHRA circuit years ago, and use those notes. So hopefully it won't be too much of a distraction or deterrent.
Now both cars were in the field last weekend at Houston. So any big changes you have to do with the funny car here?
No, I'm going to go out, just check out the track prep, check out the kind of track prep we're getting out of Nitro Outlaws. We're here at the Texas Motorplex, which is just famous for great ETs and great speeds. It's a world record facility. It's a first-class facility. So just kind of go out there and get a good look at it and just give it our best shot.
Right now, very little wind. We may get more wind later in the day. Does that affect the car at all?
Not a big, wind doesn't really affect a funny car because we're below the walls. We have big, huge safety barriers and we race below them. The only big effect I have with wind is when the parachutes come out. If you're too close to the wall, it would get caught up in the wall or something like that. So that's the biggest effect. Now, if I were a pro stock motorcycle rider, I'd be real worried about it, but I'm not.
Now, how about also the headers, the change that they've had over the last few years?
They've been a dramatic role. Probably the number one thing that allowed us to win the championship in 2015 when I was with the DHL and McClenanthan team. They thrust the car and propel it, and it's not so reliant on traction anymore. So you can put down these great times almost like jet propulsion as opposed to needing all that traction. So it's been a great addition to funny car racing.
And he's a great addition to the Nitro Outlaws. Dale Worsham on the program here at the Texas Motorplex. We're here in the pit area with the original Nitro Outlaw, the gentleman who won the very first race in the series, Cory McClenanthan. And for a driver, you don't just drive the car. You're busy here all the time.
Well, the biggest thing is, at an event like this, we want to make sure the fans are taken care of, and they come up they got their kids with them. They spent money to get in here. They're buying our shirts. They're eating the food. So go out and try to handle that, be with them a little bit, and then back to the driver duties. Driver duties, as you know, parachutes, fuel.
But you were talking about meeting with the fans. And of course, we were all fans when we were younger too, and that was a big thing to be able to just come on up, talk with the driver, see what's going on. They can do that right here.
Oh, especially the kids. I mean, they get in there and you get some of the teenagers that are really interested in a top fuel car, and then the grown-ups, they want to know numbers. They want to know that, give me the skinny on this thing. Let me know what it is. It's 10,000 horsepower. It covers 1,000 foot in about 3.9 to 4.0 at over 300 mile an hour every time. If it doesn't, there's something wrong with it, and we got to come back and tune it up. So that's Dexter's job. I'm just a driver. Let's just get it straight. I just drive the car. So.
Well, we met earlier today a gentleman who had driven down at 2 o'clock this morning from Wichita after seeing this on YouTube.
Yeah, and I talked with that gentleman because I was born in Wichita, so we had a few things in common, but he was excited. He's been seeing a lot of this on Facebook and keeping up with it, and keeping up with the Cory Mac racing deal. And it's one of those things when you get a fan that's really that interested in it, it makes you feel that much better to stop, take a few minutes, kind of discuss why he's here, what brought him here. For him, he said it snowed one weekend, and it rained the next weekend, and he came out here for a beautiful weekend, and that's what we have here.
Well, and on top of that, as they say, there's never a bad day at the racetrack.
Never. Some people are golfers. I'm not one of those guys. If I come out and smell some nitro, by next weekend I'll be back in a dirt truck. Life's pretty good for me right now.
Cory Mac with the Nitro Outlaws.
Rolling up momentarily here to drop that funny car body. Lock it in place. Every one of the crew members have got a job to do, and they're doing it to perfection. The NODRA, the NHRDA. We're at the Texas Motorplex, and you're watching live here at the Motorplex or on dieseltv.com, the live broadcast on Facebook. It's going to be a great day of drag racing. I can't wait to see what we got coming up as we open things up with a Nitro funny car from NODRA. Go get it! Go get it! It's time for Dale Worsham! And he pedals it out there just past the 8th mile. The round number 1 of elimination, fastest times out of elimination, will meet one another in the championship run of the NODRA event that is sponsored by Nut Up Enterprises. Simpson, Top Fuel, Dragster, and Nitro Funny Car driver. 3:30, got out of the throttle, pedaling at the 8th mile, walked it through the top side at 181 mile an hour, 5:08 with a 9.
Todd Simpson's first run of the day, actual ET of 5:08. About what you were expecting to do?
Oh, absolutely not. You know, I just went out there and shook tires and I tried pedaling to get down through there. That's all we was doing. But no, it needs to run a lot quicker than that.
Okay. All right. Now, what do you learn from this round on this all-concrete track to adapt to the next round?
Well, we're going to have to go read the computer and do some clutch work. See what we got to do there. Try to put some more horsepower in it, I guess, and go through the tire shake. But that's all we can do.
Crew bringing him back onto the starting line. All 8 zoomies puking out that nitromethane. We've got this Nitro funny car and then 3 Top Fuel Dragster hits. Qualifying session for the NODRA, Nitro Outlaw Drag Racing Association. Here comes Jack Wyatt trying to post a number. Go get it, Jack Wyatt Racing. Kept the candles lit to 3:30 and then in and out, pedaling the throttle, bumping his way down to the finish line. 489 and a 6 and 185 mile an hour. So currently he would be second quick out of that qualifying session in the Nitro Funny Cars. If you enjoyed the Nitro Funny Cars, give him a big round of applause.
Well, how about that first run for you, Jack?
Well, you know, it's spun out there, but we got past that shaking part, I think, so we got something to work with. We'll see how it goes next run.
So what does it tell you for the next run, or is it too soon to tell?
It's really too soon to tell. We need to look at the computer data and stuff like that, check the motor over and stuff, and make some adjustments and see if we can't give these people some show.
But definitely a little bit better than you were having things at Phoenix?
Oh, big time. We're on the right track.
There you go.
Yep.
Jack
Right,
Wyatt.
So Lex Joon going to be coming to the BD Diesel right-hand side of the racetrack and see if he can run a gigantic number in his licensing pass for that European champ. National Outlaw Diesel Association, join the revolution. Follow along on Instagram, Facebook, or on the interweb at nhrda.com. Now, Lex Joon, kind of light the candles for 1,320 feet. Go get him, Mr. Joon. And just past 3:30, chops the throttle, short of 1,000 feet. Looks like the dirty laundry pulled the parachutes.
Lex Joon, first run in a while. How'd it go?
Awesome. You know, we had to abort it. We just had to make a moderate run, and we dropped the hole, but it's awesome. Back in the office again. I love it. Yeah.
Looking forward to round 2.
I'm looking forward, and you know, this is why we are here. That's why we came here, and it's awesome to be here in Texas. I love the USA. I love this track. The first concrete track. I was here in '95, and now I'm racing at it. You know, it's awesome.
Here comes the Litton Financial Dragster. Trying to satisfy the adrenaline junkies' need for speed. You don't be a firefighter, fly airplanes and run. Top Fuel Dragsters would have it having a little bit of an adrenaline junkyism. Come on, Bill Litton, let's go get it. The tires smoked out at about 200 feet. Chop the throttle at about 225, and then we'll coast to the top side of the racetrack. Once again, spotters will go across the wall to make sure the racetrack in the Smeding Diesel left lane is clean, green, and ready for racing.
Bill Litton, first round here at the Motorplex. How'd it go?
Well, it shook just right before half track there, so this is test and tune. We're trying to figure out the track, and we'll get it next time.
Significantly different from Houston last week?
You know, we didn't shake at Houston, so we were sticking every time, but yeah, we'll see.
Best of luck.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Cory out of Huntington Beach, California. The Dexter Tunnel Tuned Ride. first in the 470s, first to run 320. Points runner-up 4 times. Won a few to sweep the West. Last time I saw this guy in Phoenix at the Wild Horse Pass Motorsport Park, he went 303 mile an hour. John Lynch of the NODRA said he thought that we had a possibility with this all-concrete track to see some great numbers, especially out of McClenanthan. He's got the experience. Ouch! Cha-ching! That is going to be an expensive deal for that team. Unfortunate turn of events for Cory Mack and his bunch. Folks, right now they can hear you. Give a big round of applause to the team that tore up their toy for you guys, Cory Mack.
We're with Lex Joon, former European drag racing champion, and now the native of the Netherlands, racing here in America. I don't know if they have this kind of a phrase in the Netherlands, but around here, what you reminded me of at the end of that first run this morning was the phrase that we use in America: the worst day at the racetrack is better than the best day at work.
And that's what it is, absolutely. You know, you don't want to know what it took to come here. We drove a day and a night. We didn't sleep for 2 days. And you know what? This type of deal, you're absolutely right. It will make up for everything.
Tell us about JLM Lubricants.
Well, we founded the company, JLM Lubricants USA. I worked with this company in Europe. They make a lot of additives, specialized in diesel additives.
Now, how about the next round? What are you doing differently? What do you expect?
Well, you know, this was the first, basically it's a try. I don't know where I am with my tune-up. We dropped a cylinder, we dropped the hole at the step. So we're going to tune it up a bit, put more clutch in it, a little bit more blower, more power, and then we'll see if we're going to take it to the end of the strip and run a 3-second.
When you come to the races, stop by this pit. The JLM Lubricants and drone driver Lex Joon from the Netherlands, but now racing here in America. Here in the Simpson Racing Pit with Todd Simpson, the driver, Byron Simpson on the crew. And Todd, it's not been the best of days for you here at the Texas Motorplex, but you're getting another run.
Yes, sir. We got a couple of gremlins. We found a short in the ignition. That's why the car died up there, and we didn't get to make that run. And now they're gonna let us go up and make another attempt, and we're gonna see if we got it fixed. You know, we got that part fixed, but we're gonna see if the car go down the track.
Byron, otherwise known as
Poopy.
Todd drives, you're in the crew. Did it just work out that way, or how?
Well, originally I was supposed to drive and he was going to be my crew chief, but we flipped a coin and I won, but he said, heck no, I'm still going. He's kind of bigger than I am, so I wasn't going to argue with him, and he's done great ever since he got in the car. Back in the days we was running alcohol, he won about everything that there was to win, so there was no need for me to step in.
Great to have both of you here in the Simpson Racing team. And hey, it's been 2 good weeks for you, racing and qualifying at Houston, and then running here. Get a chance for another run. And we look forward to you coming out the next time the Nitro Outlaws are racing, because you two are real Nitro Outlaws. Great to have you here.
Well, thank you, sir.
Now with Jack Wyatt, hey, this is the round that means everything. The best time gets into the finals against the Dragster. Ready for it?
We're ready for it. I'm really excited because we finally got some progress the last run. Looking forward to this one here and hope we get in the finals. Maybe we got a chance to whip Cory again, or whoever's in the top field final anyway.
Inching up a little bit to the left side, not quite in the groove. You probably see on that down track camera shot from Diesel TV that he's a little bit left of the groove. And here we go, Jack Wyatt piping it, pumping it. We go nitro, methane, burning, funny car racing. Come on, Jack Wyatt. Get it. And Wyatt has to chop it at half track pedal and got back into it at 1,000 feet.
Jack Wyatt, 498 at 222.
Yeah, you know, we took a little bit out of it because of the heat coming up, but we didn't take enough. This thing, I'll tell you what, makes a lot more power than 80% than what people think, I think, you know. So, you know, it was good effort. You know, maybe these guys won't do quite as good, and we'll still get in that finals one way or the other, and we got another shot at it.
Well, you're trying to keep a streak going and make it 2 in a row.
I'd love to be there, trust me. Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Thanks.
Jack Wyatt.
And Simpson's car, when he went to do the burnout, whipped the throttle and the fire went out. Unfortunate turn of events for Todd Simpson. Worsham needs to be better than 498 at 224 in this round. He's been the fastest so far. Pedaled at 330, candles lit, out of it 1,000 feet. 451 at 284 mile an hour. It will be Del Worsham with an opportunity at the championship run. It's Cory Mack and Bill Litton. Last time I saw Cory Mack in this round, he went 303 mile an hour. Cory Mack in that sweating diesel left lane, Bill Litton in the right side. This should be a dandy. Two guys that aren't going to lift. They want a frozen rope trajectory down track. Out at 1,000 feet, 531 with a 4 and 175 mile an hour. You can see that both of those drivers did a tremendous job of doing just that, driving those dragsters down track.
Bill Litton, how about that run?
Same shake. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but shook hard and lifted and very disappointing. Yeah, you just want to go, you know. And I didn't see Cory when it shook, so I was thinking, you know, almost pedaled, and then he darted past me, right? You know, I was letting the tires calm down just a little bit before I pedaled, and he kind of went by right at the same time, so.
By the way, tell us about the American Fallen Soldiers Project.
It's a really cool organization. If you haven't looked it up on the internet, it'll make you cry. When somebody's relative dies in battle, there's an artist that can interview the people in depth, look at pictures and things, and then he can paint a 3D to the point that it seems like he's back. It's that good. Yeah, we've actually had him out here before, the artist, at one of the races. And yeah, awesome program.
Bill, thanks for supporting them, and best of luck next time out.
Thank you.
Bill Litton with the Litton Financial Team and the American Fallen Soldiers Project. Well, sometimes a little luck goes a long way.
That's called winning ugly at its finest. You know what? Bill had me dead to rights. I mean, it was over, and this thing just fell on his face out there, and I just stayed in it a little bit. I thought, man, I don't want to hurt it, but he was having more trouble than I was, so I figured let's get by him and go ahead and pull the chutes and shut it off. We need to go back, figure out what we got wrong from Phoenix to here, replace it, get it back running again, and let's go kick some butt in the final.
Very good. Cory Mack, ready for the final.
But Lex Joon going through the motions here. That's his wife Gerda out on the front as she is, you know, getting him to back up exactly in the path that he set on the way on going for the burnout. So I can see, we look down on the track and we see Cory Mack is down there, Del Worsham is down there. So they are watching from this end just to make sure that everything is done correctly. And then with a successful run here and then a successful run for one more later on today, then he'd be fully licensed, and in the future you'll be seeing Lex Joon racing probably quite a bit, because a lot of experience in Europe, but now he's bringing it to America.
licensing pass in the right lane, just past 330. Get out of it. This time he blipped the throttle, kind of pedaled a little bit. And again, that's just kind of a refresher for the driver as well to remember, to remind themselves what this all feels like.
With Cory Mack and with Del Worsham, two guys that have been racing each other for a long time. But have you ever raced each other in different cars before?
You know what? This is the first. Back in the day, they had a Winston showdown for big money. And back then, it was funny car versus dragster. So back then, we were able to do it. But they were staggered lights, you know, off what was then the ET for low ET for funny car and low ET for dragster off a regular bulb system. So the guys that really did well would be the guys that, like Del and I, grew up in bracket racing where you don't get to leave when the other guy leaves. Now, unfortunately, we can't do this here. So we either got to go straight off or we got to figure something out. So I was talking to Del and I said, how about this? When I hear him leave, I'll leave.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be great. You know, I mean, as of right now, on a hot racetrack, I mean, obviously the dragster is going to outrun the funny car, and we want to have a great race out here. And their car is getting dialed in, and our car is getting dialed in. So hopefully, when we get to the stripe, no one will know who won, and we'll just have a great race here for the fans. And I think that's a fair way to do it. We watch a lot of this street racing on TV nowadays, and jumps and links and blah blah blah. So kind of plays into that a little bit.
You were telling me off camera, 1 percentage point in this fuel mixture does make a big difference.
Yeah, we actually ran about 78.2 in Phoenix, and it ran over 300, and it ran about 4 flat. So you weren't supposed to say that because I wasn't going to tell Del that I put another percent in it. So now we're at like 79, 4, and 5. So I think it'll be fun. So this is good. This is what it's all about. It's that dicing back and forth thing. You've got to be able to do it. So basically, we're giving them one in the go. Should be fun.
Now, does it make a difference because you had the dragster tuned to this level, but now you've backed down the funny car to this level? Is it tougher to tune one or the other?
There's different cars, and each one has to be run a little bit differently, but they both burn nitro. They have the same clutches, same superchargers. But no, it's warm here today in Ennis. You know, it's over 80 degrees, 89 degrees out here. The track's a little bit slick, and Cory and I have been racing for a long time. It reminds me a lot of the early days, you know, when you didn't get these greatly prepped tracks. You had to go out there and you had to pedal them, you had to drive them, and the crew chiefs really had to do a great job tuning.
Who's going to win?
I think it's going to be awful close. Del might have the edge this weekend.
Somebody from California will win.
Which is exactly the truth. But we couldn't do this without Dexter, Color Fast. It's one of those things where he's really reaching out there trying to pull a group together to go out and have fun doing it. And Phoenix was awesome, a lot of fun. And here has been a little more challenging because the racetrack, not only is it 130 degrees out there right now on the racetrack, but the prep is different than we've seen before. So we're all trying to play catch up, but I think we got it pretty close. Should be a good final.
Del Worsham, Cory Mack, a great final coming up.
And back up onto the start line. If you're a Nitro funny car fan, you want to see Del Worsham run her tough down the Smithing Diesel left lane. If you're a Dragster fan, you're rooting for the one and only Cory Mack. Cory McClenanthan has got his Dragster in the BD Diesel right-hand side of the racetrack. I was just alluding to the fact that there's copious amounts of horsepower, a plethora of intestinal fortitude, and guys that live on the edge. They're all about pushing the envelope, and that envelope accelerates to 300 plus mile an hour. We got a chance to see it over 3 bills right here at the Texas Motorplex, and I can't wait. Nitro funny car, top fuel dragster, the Nitro Outlaw main event. It's time to giggity, 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 get it done. Too soon, Dell Worsham on his inaugural hit in the NODRA. He's going to come away with a championship. The Texas Diesel National Event win. Give a big round of applause to teams Cory Mack and Dell Worsham.
That was close.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where it's not really part of the game. You're supposed to leave both together, but, you know, the dragsters by far have a little bit more advantage traction-wise and by speed, ET-wise as well. But it's one of those things where, you know what, I've been racing against Dell forever, so I left when I heard him leave. And we had talked about that earlier, and it bit my butt, actually, but had it not shook, and I had to pedal it, it'd have been really close there at the end. Very, very close. So, you know what? My hat's off. Color Fast, Nut Up. I mean, we got some great sponsors in the car now, and thank you to Dexter and the whole family and the guys that are working on the car, man. All I got to do is pack the shoes, put some fuel in it. They do the rest. They're the ones that deserve it. Thank you.
Well, and it makes for a very fun day at the races here for everybody involved.
Oh, very much so. I mean, the fans are awesome. They can come over. They can talk to anybody they want. You know, and the consensus is this is going to be a great deal, and a lot more people are going to come over. Get people like Dell to come over, and people will follow. And, you know, next thing you know, Dexter's going to have a monster on his hands. He ain't going to know what to do with it.
Runner-up, Cory McClenanthan here at the Texas Motorplex. Well, maybe something was wrong, but it turned out right for a win.
It did. We had a fun day out here at Texas Motorplex for the Nitro Outlaws and CP Carrillo, Lucas Oil, Toyota, all of our sponsors. It was a fun day, you know, come out here and Dexter gave us a place to come out and race and do our best. And we got to race a dragster, which I haven't done in a long time. And I think with time, this thing's going to build into a pretty nice series. You know, I look forward to coming to some more of them. It's a great crowd, a great event, and everybody did a really good job.
And they really enjoyed it, and you saw so many people that were coming around to the Nitro pit area, talking to you, talking to Cory, talking to Todd and the other guys too. So a lot of involvement with the fans here.
There was, yeah. I mean, you know, all the fans. Like every drag race, you know, you can get in the pits and meet the drivers. You don't need a special ticket to come in and meet the drivers. So if you come out, you know, you can get to the pits. You can come out and meet your favorite drivers, and look forward to doing this again someday.
Well, a good weekend for Worsham Fink Racing.
It was a good weekend, and I just want to thank my dad and the entire team again. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Dell Worsham, the winner here at the Texas Motorplex. Here at the Texas Motorplex has been a real honor for the Nitro Outlaw Drag Racing Association to be here with the NHRDA here on Diesel TV. We have the awards presentation now for the Nitro Outlaws. We're going to begin with our second place finisher or runner-up. We bring on Cory McClenanthan, the legendary Cory Mack, who was our runner-up here today with the Nitro Outlaws. And Cory, second place trophy, the first winner of the Dexter at our previous event. How was the day for you today?
Good. Track was tricky. We definitely had to test that. That was one of those things that, you know, you just got to take it for what it is. The track people were great. Everybody was on top of it, trying to get us some more traction. Just these 10,000 horsepower deals, they're tough to work with sometimes. So it was one of those things where we got to work through it, got to get by it. We had it there in the final. It shook, had to pedal it. Dell and I had a little side bet. I said, look, I'll leave when I hear you leave. So it's just something we've done in the past. And we reeled him in there down at the end. We had to pedal it one time. It's one of those deals where you get a lot of good people, get some good cars. Great to have Dell come over, the NHRDA. I mean, they're just super great to have us here. We just really appreciate it that much. And for Dexter to put this whole thing together, I mean, Nitro Outlaw is going to be something I think we're going to see in the future in a big way. So for Color Fast and Nut Up, which is one of our new sponsors on the car, I just appreciate it very much.
Great day for the Untitled Motorsports team and Cory Mack finishing runner-up here. And now let's bring on our winner. It's Dell Worsham. Dell Worsham, of course, with multiple world championships, many championships, but today you are truly, sir, a Nitro Outlaw.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a fun day. A lot of traveling to get back here and come out here and race here in Texas and race with NHRDA, race with Dexter Tuttle, our sponsors, CP Carrillo, Toyota, Lucas Oil, Brent, everybody at C2C. They were excited to come out, and you know, the crowd, I appreciate everybody coming by. Everybody said hi. Everybody wished us luck. Everybody wanted us to do well, and that goes a long ways.
And this is like racing when you got started racing.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I licensed right here, man, in this right lane right here, nearly 30 years ago. In September of 1990, in this right lane, I sat there and made runs down the track as a 20-year-old kid in the funny car, and have it on video still. And had out here with Billy Meyer and Kenny Bernstein and Don Perdome and my dad and the entire team, and it's memories I will never forget about this track.
Dale Worsham, our winner with the Nitro Outlaws here at the Texas Motorplex in Ennis, Texas. I'm John Lynch. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.